And the confidence thing, as you said, is a big deal. I do want to focus on the play at the end of the game. LeBron James made that pass to Deron Williams with a chance for the go-ahead bucket late. And look, yesterday, D-Will's first game in a Cavs uniform. Ty Lue clearly wants to put him in those pressure moments with this team before the playoffs start. LeBron feeds him in the corner. Tracy, what did you think of the decision-making here?
Well, it's not a bad play. LeBron is always going to make the right play.
But
I just think in this situation, yeah, there is a but. Kyrie has been taking over the game, prior to this. In this situation right here, LeBron got the defender in the air. So there's a driving lane, right? You're the best player. There's a driving lane for you. I would want him to drive that ball because the only person in between him and the basket is Al Horford. And if Al Horford commits, that's a lob to Tristan Thompson. Or if A.B. Bradley comes out of the corner, you have Kyrie Irving right there in the corner to make that pass off to. So you being the best player in the world, I'm not mad at that pass. I just think there were other options that were better than that.
You're mad at it. You're just not being as strong as you want to be. You're mad at it.
No, I'm not mad at it. If that was Kyle Korver in there in the corner, I mean, chances are that's really good play.
LeBron loved that play. And there's two reasons why. Number one, the guy's wide open in the corner, which is the best percentage shot for three-pointer, which they're trying to win the game. Deron Williams, not that LeBron knows this, but Deron Williams shoots 45% on corner three-pointers. That's a 45% shot to win the game, essentially. I think he likes it. Secondly, LeBron loves the idea of giving his new teammate a chance to be in that position in the first game. Even if they lost, I think he loved the idea of saying, here, this is the way it's going to be. I'm going to take care of you. This is how we play in Cleveland. I'm going to make the right basketball play. You make the right basketball play. I think he walked away being, you know what? I thought that was totally cool.
I'm cool with that, but still, when you're a fresh guy on the team, like this is your first game, there's still some uncertainty there, right? Because you're just not comfortable. If that was Kyle Korver or anybody else that has been in that situation.
Korver was covered. They weren't letting him. You know what's interesting, Trace? LeBron's having the worst free throw shooting season of his career. And I wonder if it enters into his mind not to go into position. Because, Horford's going to foul him there. If he goes, as you mentioned.
If you're the best player on the planet, there's no way you can have that type of doubt in your mind. I'm sorry. You're LeBron James. You have to drive that ball, either get fouled or make a better play.
See, I'm pulling it out of him now. But
well, you remember this debate we had. It's funny. It's this exact date 5 years ago, the play where, remember that, Brian, you know the hysteria that erupted after this.
I was there.
Right? Passes up the final shot to UD.
It was a good shot.
The right basketball play.
Good shot.
Udonis Haslem, maybe not the world's best sharpshooter.
But it was nothing else LeBron. Because, he had two guys right there corralling
Chris
him.
Bosh was benched in the fourth quarter in that game. If that was Bosh, might have gone down.
That was the right play in that situation.
Right. I don't think Bosh weighed LeBron over work. That's what they were saying then.
Worked out okay. But yes, this is a debate we've seen before. And
now he hits that shot.
Right, we're not having this conversation.
We're saying, wow,
but he didn't hit the shot.
Way to get his teammate involved.
Let's move on to an interesting story about Paul George and the Pacers. PG-13 met with Nate McMillan before he left for the All-Star break. And basically, he was very frustrated with the way the Pacers were guarding three-pointers. He wanted the Pacers to switch more, stay in front of the ball instead of doing as much one-on-one. McMillan basically spent the All-Star break, guys, going over film, listening and deciding he was going to implement Paul George's ideas. And here we go. Look at the results. It's basically naming him co-defensive coordinator.
He almost won last night in San Antonio, too.
Very close.
More victories, huh? You handed out more victories, huh?
Well, what I think is interesting about this is the more modern way of defending the three-pointer.
Of course.
Which is, switching on the perimeter. The Pacers have been begging Paul George to be more modern in this. They want him to play power forward. And they'd love it. Like, this is sort of meeting him halfway. Hey, if you'll play on the perimeter and do switching defenses, how about you go down on offense and play power forward? And this whole thing's going to be different. Right. But I do. So I think there's some stuff going on where they're trying to sort of edge him in that direction.
Listen, I like the communication. I like that, Nate is listening to his best player, his leader of his team, because he is in the fray, and he knows how to guard these guys. I mean, he's a great defender. It's been times where I've been on teams, and I see how I want to guard a certain team, a certain player differently than my coach wants me to guard him. And, we handle that amongst ourselves, and we all get on the same page. So kudos to Nate for, listening to Paul George on this situation.
I like that. Communication.
Communication is key.
All right.
Relationships.
We're going to take a quick break. Welcome back to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols, joined by Brian Windhorst, Tracy McGrady. And guys, we know referees play a role in every single game the NBA plays. And a big announcement from the league office today, the NBA is overhauling its officiating program. So I want to welcome in the NBA's President of Operations, Byron Spruell, who joins us from New York City. Welcome.
Thank you, Rachel. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your work and just appreciate the invitation to be on board here.
We love having you here to explain this. We're going to throw up some of the new initiatives on the screen here that y'all are putting in here. A new officiating advisory council. You're increasing the number of referees by about 25%. There's going to be better training for these guys. New scheduling referees. It's not just the players that are getting fewer back-to-backs these days. And of everything in this package, and it's a big one, Byron, what change do you think is going to make the biggest impact on fans as they watch these games?
Well, overall, there is a lot there and a lot that we have to execute upon. But frankly, from a short-term perspective, fans should see, improvement. There's nothing broke to really fix here. It's just getting better. And so they should see improvement on the court in terms of performance of our officials, the way they call plays, the accuracy of those plays. Already at a good number, but we want to make it even better. So that's the part that they should absolutely see right away. And then over time, they actually, I think, given some of the training tools we're going to put in place, like virtual reality for our officials, that technology will help with improvement and performance of our referees, again, which fans should see in the perception of their work. But at the same time, we hope to have as a byproduct even that virtual reality sort of not just be from a training perspective, but actually turn into kind of walk in their shoes kind of aspect. So maybe longer term, you'll actually have a fan experience where they can walk in the shoes of a referee through virtual reality, which will, essentially be a training tool first, but a byproduct could be putting the fans in the same experience. And kind of you make the call. These guys and gals, our men and women who work as officials, have a demanding job, a tough job. And so to put someone in their shoes and really make those tough calls, given the speed of the game, the physicality of the game, et cetera, I think it'll just bring a different light to what they do. Very good in terms of what they're doing today, but we're hoping to see more as a result of these initiatives.
Byron, T-Mac here. My question is,
hey, Tracy.
I know you guys trying to improve the communication between player, coaches, and officials in terms of what exactly do you guys really want? Because in a heated battle out on the basketball court, I mean, it's kind of hard to be a nice guy in a difficult situation. So what exactly do you guys want?
Back to Rachel's question. I mean, the emotion of the game and the interaction between the players, the coaches, and the referees is highly important. And that's a tangible product that people see. And so we're not asking you to take away that emotion, the physicality, intensity of the game, but at the same time, there's a way to have an appropriate decorum and communication among those actors on the court, if you will. And so, like teams are getting better and coaches are getting better, we're just asking our referees to play their part in getting better at the communication and then more consistent play calling. And a lot of this will kind of work together, so where you do have, that respect on the court that's needed and the appropriate communication.
I say tee him up. I love it when there's technical fouls. Byron, so you guys are going to maybe even expand the last 2-minute reports, possibly down the line, even extending it all the way up to the whole game. Now, I know the referees don't like it, and the players seem like they complain about it a lot. And I know Adam has said that transparency is very important. Let me ask you, why would you want to expand that for the full 48 minutes?
Well, we're not going there yet. I mean, it's actually just a matter of resource for the most part. The L2Ms have really played an important part in transparency. It shows some of the errors that our officials get sensitive about, but it actually shows a lot of their great work at play in terms of real data that supports the accuracy of their work. And so there's two sides of it, and we're going to continue down that line of the L2Ms. To really get to a full game report, we have the data now that is shared with our teams, the officials that are actually on those particular games, but to actually get to a full game report that will be viewable by the public, that's a longer-term initiative, and we just don't even have the resource right now to do it. So, Brian, it's a great question, but right now we're going to stick with the L2Ms. They've served their purpose, and that sort of transparency is very important for us. It gets back to integrity and perception of our referees. But at the same time, the full game reports, available data, but it's going to take some time for us to actually commit to disclosing those fully to the public.
Byron, I love the L2Ms. I think that these are a great idea. I'm someone who covered the NFL for a long time. Very frustrating to feel like there are mistakes made in officiating and the league itself won't even acknowledge them when we all have replay and we all see this. So I would like you to continue this as long as possible. I don't know if I'm in the minority or the majority.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
I like that you guys are listening to a wide range of voices with this new program also. I know you guys have an advisory council that I mentioned before. We've got former NBA player, our guy, Doug Collins, the retired General Martin Dempsey, who the USA basketball chairman. You've got a former Secretary of Education,
Right.
Arnie Duncan, who, of course, played hoops, Steve Javie, very well-known referee. Kenny Smith is on the council there. What is bringing all
Right.
these guys in? What do you hope to get there?
So just like our referees, it's clearly the passion for the game and wanting to help the game, the future of the game. And so when I individually call this sort of short list of folks to serve on the council, they were very excited about it and basically said, yeah, Byron, sign me up. What can we do to help? And so we're looking forward to not just the formation, but the work that will come out of the council. In addition to those sort of full-time members, we'll also have ad hoc members, including, back to Tracy's point, players, coaches, and active referees. They have a busy schedule, and we got to really be cognizant of their time available to join the meetings. But we're going to start with the full-time group, come with perception and independent thinking and ideas that come from that great group of folks, but then also really incorporate ideas from active coaches, players, and referees too. So I'm really excited about that element of the initiatives, no doubt about it.
Ad hoc sounds like you, Trace. You could get your head in that.
That's right. Here's what I do know. You ask for people's opinions in this league, you will definitely get them. So your phone is going to be ringing, Byron. We really appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck with this. And I got to tell you, working in a league where they are actually trying to improve the officiating, obviously,
Publicly,
guys,
trying
to get better is always a very good thing. Thanks so much.
Just trying to get better. Thank you so much, guys.
We got to take another quick break. Interesting moment last night during the Knicks Magic game. Kristaps Porzingis noticeably upset here with Derrick Rose's decision not to pass to him on this possession. Now, this is not the triangle what's going on here, but in related news, Porzingis telling Newsday, I like the triangle. My first season, the whole first season, we played nothing but the triangle, so I know it pretty well, but it can only work if everyone believes in it and everyone executes it the right way. Tracy, what do you make of this?
Well, Christoph, my advice is go look at who ran the triangle. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Shaq and Kobe, and ask yourself, do y'all have that type of personnel on your team?
I mean,
no, you do not.
We could spend the next hour talking about this. Carmelo Anthony isn't interested in running it.
So it doesn't matter.
So it's kind of a moot point. And he wasn't interested in running the pick and roll scheme with Jeremy Lin, with Mike D'Antoni either. Carmelo wants to do what Carmelo wants to do, and he's got the most power in the organization.
There you go.
No trade clause, so I think you do what Carmelo wants to do, and maybe not what KP wants to do, although team should be built around him. So this is a problem the Knicks have.
Ooh,
Make or miss.
Rachel.
Not wrong. Make or miss. Make. Ball movement. The Nuggets made 9 passes in 1 possession. Yep. And what did that lead to? A layup. What do you think, Brian?
They're 1 star away from being a really good team.
Yes.
Kind of like Boston.
Djokovic.
I think they're still the favorites for that 8th spot. I know everybody wants to see the Pelicans there.
Don't forget, Nikola Jokic,
Rachel.
back-to-back triple-doubles as a big man. Now, you don't see that every day.
Down a star. Miss. Effort. Tracy, any problem with Julio Okafor here on this possession?
Well, let me see.
Isn't he supposed to be?
What? Hold on, man. He didn't try. He didn't try to stop
still
the
not
ball.
trying.
He didn't try to block the shit. Come on.
This is why they couldn't
This-
trade him,
this
right?
is
I
why-
mean, this is it.
Bro, you got
On
to
the other hand, he
together,
can't
man.
shoot.
That's awful.
So there's also that.
Number 2 pick in the draft last year and literally has almost no value in the league.
Why they had to get rid of Nerlens Noel instead.
Zero.
Someone would at least take him.
He needs
All right.
to sit down. He's tired.
What are you doing?
School pride. Look at that basketball
Rachel.
powerhouse, Northwestern. Huge win last night.
Big
Did you
win.
see this shot? The
Look at this
pass.
throw.
I love it.
It's amazing.
I'm happy
the
for you,
joy.
Rachel.
Chris Collins and the boys, congratulations to them. I would like to point out the Wildcats have never been a part of March Madness before, and I say, let's go dancing.
By the
think
way,
you
your
dig
fight
it?
song?
It took a lot of skill for him to catch this and make this without travel.
Rachel, do you know your school song?
I'm not going to sing it for you on national television.
She always try to get me to sing, but when I call her out to sing something, you see this, ladies and
That's
gentlemen?
because you can actually sing. Those who can do, those who don't.
Happy 55th anniversary to
None
this
of us
guy
can
right
do that.
Here. This is a lot of buckets, man. A lot
50.
of buckets.
See you